Hey, Triple Fivers, Andrew here. In this video, I'm going to be presenting to you something that I am just getting into, saddle hunting. Now, as a gear aficionado, typically I have an easier time getting into new gear-related hobbies and learning the lingo and the details of all of these subgenres of gear that are out there, especially since I love hunting in the outdoors. It's something that I really enjoy. Now, if you're new to deer hunting, oftentimes the final frontier of deer hunting is archery and then also saddle hunting. And saddle hunting in particular is full of technical gear that is very specific and is unlike other hunting gear that you'll use in any situation. And so in this video, what I'm going to do is just go through the absolute basics of what is on a saddle, the names of things, how they work, and what you need to know in particular if you're looking to buy a saddle for the first time, because my experience paying out of pocket for all of this stuff for the first time is that it wasn't obvious to me, even with the most popular companies, what it was I needed to buy in order to be ready to go. And so by the end of this video, I'm hoping you'll know exactly what you need to buy when you are purchasing your first saddle, and also that you'll be squared away in knowing what next steps you have to do once you've figured out your equipment in the most basic way. So the equipment that we're going to be specifically looking at today is the Phantom Elite by Tethrd. Tethrd is my favorite brand for saddles after looking at a lot of it, and it's not necessarily because they're the best. There are some brands out there that seem to be a little bit more customizable or high-end, but they're my favorite brand because they have the most information out there. They have the information about how to use all this junk. They have all the information about how to make it all work together. And they have a lot of videos explaining how to use a saddle in the field. And so I'm going to direct you to them straight away. But one of the things that I did not find that I was satisfied with is just an absolute freaking beginner video. So what you're looking at then is a saddle. You sit in this thing when you are deer hunting by climbing a tree, typically using climbing sticks or a ladder, and then you stand on a tree stand. And I am not going to get into climbing sticks or the tree stand in this video, but just the saddle. So we're going to start with just the very basics. This is the saddle. This is the main rope that you will use to connect to your tether, which is the thing that will go around the tree. The tether looks like this. It looks like a freaking rope. This is an 8mm rope. You need to buy this separately from Tethrd when you are getting your saddle set up. I did not know that. I ordered what I thought was a complete kit, and then I realized there's no ropes. It comes with a climbing carabiner. You need to have weight-rated carabiners when you are getting your climbing ropes. And the way that this works is quite simple. There's a loop on the end, and you can imagine this is what goes around the tree. And you tighten it up, and then you use what's called a prusik knot to tighten this so that it's the right length. And I will show you what that looks like in a second. So you need to buy a tether rope, and you also need to have what's called a lineman's rope. And the lineman's rope is a separate rope, also 8mm in this case, that you attach to your saddle, and you use this to get up the tree. Now you'll notice that I have a very different looking carabiner on here because one of the pieces of gear that I realized that I needed that wasn't included in the kits was an extra carabiner. So just be prepared that you might have some little extra expenses here and there as you're getting this kit squared away. Lastly, you'll notice that I have a couple extra bags. That came with the Phantom Elite kit, but many of these bags are not included in kits, but I think that they're essential because they're going to be what you stuff your ropes in as you're walking into the field. So you're going to need to stuff your lineman rope and your tether rope, and the only way to do that practically is to have it attached to your saddle. You could use a backpack, I guess, if you're trying to do it on a budget, but to me it makes sense to have them ready at hand. Okay, when you get your saddle in the mail, you're going to pull it out of the box and you're going to have to figure out some things. Where do you put your legs? It sounds so simple, but basically there will be these quick little spots where you'll step through Your tether line will be attached to the saddle, and what you'll basically do is you'll get your feet in here, and Leo, just follow me up. You'll basically just bring the saddle up like you're putting on your tighty whities, and maybe your tighty whities aren't attached with a buckle. There might be that difference, but you'll hopefully have this adjusted after your first time you put it on, so that when you put it on, it doesn't just drop right away. These all need to be extremely snug, and there are some videos that are out there with more details about how exactly snug this should be, but the point is you want to be able to walk around with this without it falling off. Then you're going to take your leg straps here, and you're going to go through and hook them to the saddle. And these also, they recommend having a little more snug, just as far as the way it's going to feel in the tree. And that's of course going to be the place that once you're all tied down properly, you can adjust this and make this comfortable. Okay? So this kind of setup is basically what you need to have in order to be ready to start getting ready to go in the tree. Now make sure it's nice and tight and comfortable, not cutting off circulation, but very tight. And then what you're going to do is you are going to take your lineman's rope here, which will be attached by a carabiner to this spot. When you buy a lineman's rope from Tethrd, it does come with this climbing carabiner, but it did not come with a second carabiner to attach to this knot. And I do have this Black Diamond quick carabiner, which is climbing rated, so this will work just fine. But what you'll do is you'll take this and you'll throw this around the tree, attach it here, and then you'll use this to tighten it so that it's at a proper level around the tree, so that with your climbing sticks you can get up to your stand. So this is the first rope safety device that you need to make sure is 100% squared away. But you basically take your lineman's rope around like this, and then using the knot, hook it up, and then I would tighten this up to a level where I can comfortably climb up my sticks and work this up the tree. You always want to keep this above your waist level, just for safety reasons. This prusik knot, the more you lean on it, the more the knot tightens. So this is a good knot to utilize, and it comes pre-tied with this Tethrd kit. If your saddle doesn't come pre-tied, or your lineman's line doesn't come pre-tied, that is something you're going to have to figure out. But basically, now you have this on, you'll use probably a starter loop and then work up your sticks to get up as high as you need to in the tree using this. Okay, let's say you're up at your tree stand or your wherever you're going to be in your tree stand, or your if you're doing a single stick, your whatever base you're going to be using. Then you're ready to actually get your proper tether on. Now this is quite simple. You just loop it through this eyelet here, and again you'll want to be able to be on a tree where you can reach around and do this. You'll bring this around, still attached of course to your lineman rope for safety, and then you'll bring the tether through that eyelet and get it attached. Now there's a lot of videos about the right height and adjusting this and all that, and I'm honestly not the guy to be giving you that type of experience feedback, but this is just for the guy who's literally doing this for the first time. And then all you do, making sure that your carabiner is fully unthreaded and then fully threaded, then you're attached to your tether with this rope. Okay, and of course you would use again this knot to get this adjusted the right way. The way that you would probably have it is up here, taking the knot, pulling it tight like this so that you can comfortably lean back. And then the thing is that you want it to be so that once you take off your lineman rope right here, which you don't necessarily need to have both of these, you are now attached to your tether and you can lean back and it's very comfortable. I think that's one of the main arguments in favor of saddle hunting versus using a tree stand, is that it's incredibly safe. It's got a lot of fail safes here, and then it's also more comfortable than sitting in a cold metal tree stand all day. Now, Tethrd also has an additional back support that you can get. Many saddles have that, and that would make this a two-piece saddle. I did get that with this kit. I don't have it with me, but basically all you would do is throw that around your back and then attach it to your main tether line, and then you're ready to go. Now, one thing that is true about tethered saddles is they have these, like, feels like marbles or something, but they basically have some adjustment in here for where you want your main line to be sitting, and it does distribute the weight differently. So if you put it up higher, the weight's obviously distributed higher. So to sum things up, when you're getting into saddle hunting, you need a saddle, you need your lineman's rope, you need your tether line, and you need your bags to stuff everything. Most saddle companies don't sell all the accessories with the kit, and in particular, as you saw, little pieces like carabiners or the way that certain things are knotted may or may not come from the factory set up properly. And for me, I needed to figure all of that out myself, and I thought that it would be useful for you to maybe see just the basics. And now you know what you need to get if you're getting a saddle. If you've gotten to this point, now it's really a matter of getting comfortable, getting experienced in the tree, and getting it adjusted so that you're ready to sit and bring down that big buck. Okay, guys, I really appreciate you watching this. If you're interested in seeing any more archery related videos, please let me know. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And thanks again for watching 555 Gear.